Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the masterpiece. That is Ginga DENSETSOO Weed X MERSAYDEEZ Nuts at GOTTEM. Promising start. Okay, let me prepare myself here for a reaction for reading this. Here we go. It was 20 minutes ago when Myuu first met Weasel. She couldn't put her fingy on why, but there was someone but his juicy bare hond manliness that she loved so much. Even though she had known him for only 30 seconds, and even though she was literally 6 months old, she was instantly coming at every sight of weed and had a really moist, wet dream about them having under-ag puppy sex on a beach, and she woke up waterfalling in her panties. It was then she knew that they were in love and were soulmates and were destined to be together for forever. And she would never leave his side no matter what. Okay, here we go. Ah! Screamed a spotty dog named GB. There's a monster attacking Ohu! Lem #woke up awakened by Bee Gees, psychotic screaming, real angry that this disgusting adult cis male interrupted her completely safe for work romantic dream with absolutely no words ever, and for that she immediately hoped that GB would fall into a manhole and die. Authors not. This is not sexual or creepy. I never said that Weed and Mel wanted to have sex, so it's love, not lust. It's totes okay for children to fall in love because Weed and Mel are old enough to go to war, and anyone who's old enough to go to war is old enough to act like they're already married. But anyway, GB then said something that made Mel's blood run thin. Weedo is missing! It was that instant Mel's world fell apart. How could her lover just leave her for 1 minute like that? How was she gonna know if he was still alive? Heartbroken that her husband went where she couldn't follow, Lem just sat and cried real good, like a strong and badass female soda would. She bawled and bawled for 5 horrors. In her tears flooded all of Ohu. There was so much water that Noah's Ark could float on it now, and that totally subtle Bible references could reckon hyena from the dead. Wait a minute, this only takes place in the GDW anime. No manga references because the stinky manga doesn't exist, hee hee. Come on, Mel. Please don't. GB said, let's go find your boyfriend. Lem immediately stopped crying, and Vasun dried up all her tears as she looked at him stupidly. He's not my boyfriend. The puppy blushed and turned away. Oh no! How could anyone know about her totally discreet and secret love for we don't know? Let's go, Mel! The brain dead. Let's go, Mel! The brain dead GB clone said, constantly sounding like it was on ecstasy and hard narcotics at the same time. Stupid GB, said Mel with the urge to harass JB for literally no reason. Not that goober. Oh, here we go. Oh, by the way, old bean, I'm the one who gave Weed his name, you know. Because of course GB is the type to just gift out irrelevant information. Because I'm his godfather. God. Mel put on her angry eyes. You did not, Mel said condescendingly, like she knew GB better than he knew himself. Because, of course, she was just there when Sakura died in episode 1, I guess. GB, a dork. Lem and BG went to Gajo, where Uido and a black and white German, I mean East European Shepherd, were. Kai Booty had already been defeated because Teehee was actually retelling important events from the anime when you can just gloss over shit, am I right? Guido looked over at his dream girl, and Jerome looked over at the stinky, untrustworthy newcomers. But then Jeremy smelled a smell. A kind of smelly smell. A smelly smell that smells. Smelly. It was a female, Jerome muttered under his breath. What? Said Weed. A female! Lem put on her angry face and shit herself in anger. Did this stinky male dare imply she wasn't an old soldier after she had worked so hard at doing nothing? What the no-no word is she screeching. What the no-no word is she doing here? Jeremy screeched. Get that gross useless female the fuck out! Nani? Jerome is right. War isn't a place for a girl, Ken agreed. Mel frowned, and her fur stuck up. Mel wasn't wanting to be talked down like she was nothing. She stepped forward. I was just fine marching to be at death when we took down P4. Lem was definitely there when they were fighting Kai Buttcheeks. Kai Buttcheeks, I swear to Fleekus Christ, take my word for it. She totally was not running around like a chicken with its head cut off moaning Wheat's name. I still stand by what I said. She's useless in battle and elsewhere. She doesn't even deserve to be trained because even one jump will make her heart explode from all the manly work. Send her away to be a breeding bitch, Jerome declared. Weed stomped his paw. For God's sake, man, that she's my waifu! Weed cried. Oh, okay. Jeremy suddenly stopped moaning and comming about Dog's genitals when his great and glorious Lord Weedo spoke. Okay, Weed, you're always right. I should have sucked your asshole and listened to you, tee. Mel started panting heavily as the want for weed became bigger. Oh, by the way, Weed, GB started to state obvious shite again. Did you know that Mel is absolutely smitten with you? You two should hurry up and confess your feelings and passionately make out already. But don't go kissing and touching each other's asses anywhere it isn't private, or else I'll have to lecture you two toddlers about intimacy in public. Shut up! Both Reed and Lemonade screamed because they always finish each other's sandwiches. And they, and by they I mean Weedo only, because Melem can't do S-word, uppercutted G's Lou B's and sent him flying all the way to the Southern Alps where John's dead booty was just lying there. Oh yeah, he was killed and captured off screen, and it happened during the Kaibutsu arc, because pointlessly swapping the story around is the perfect way to write an AU. Melatonin was about to lean over and sloppily mac at with Webb when what? Realised. Oh no, he yelled. My father, the one my hot and sexy mummy told me to look for. Mel's angry eyes grew a smaller pair of angry eyes as she grew jelly of a Weedo's mama. Let's go recruit an army so we can take down the poor misunderstood in Haugen. Our first stop is Kiyoshiro. Wed and the pack started travelling towards Shiga because they just knew he existed without Rocket telling the U army. Avatar Kyoshi Ro was Kyoshi Ro. That's a good one. Oh yeah, and Akome just materialized into existence so he could be a plot device, and they all left Gaju completely unguarded so the next bad gay could tack over it and make it his fortress. Teehee. The only one who wasn't happy was Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz. Because how dare we don't care more about Sam and his papa before letting her confess her totes genuine and not lustful love for him face. Jeremy sensed Mel's anger and smirked it. Another reason to harass and bully a 1-second-old child. This was gut. He slid up behind Mal as the pack was running and whispered in her ear, "You a bitch," before farting, kicking a tree and running forward. The fort gas stung Horsatia bends his eyes, and she stopped running so she could cry and scream. The roll pack stopped because Miku's one female having a temper tantrum was a perfectly good reason to put the hoe again arc on halt. What happened? Asked Wheat. Is the snow too cold for your paws? Here. He put out some fuzzy doggy booties from his booty, and they were caked with a forbidden fudge. Ugh. Melly Welly. Why is that the best one so far? Welly got wet immediately as such a kindness. Oh, widow, she moaned. I may be a little golden retriever, but that was a sporty doggo bred for endurance. But I tripped over my teeny feet and I'm too tired from running. Why can't you, treat me like me strong badass soldier boy I am and stop running too fast for me? Mel just lay there and cried, begging for her beef and cookies and milk. Jeremy was getting signatures for a la petition to make Pawbind illegal to do on all female dogs. Meanwhile, Wheat had built a whole queen-sized bed for his fiancée that was fitting Sid a gigant palanquin that the Ohu army could carry around, so Mel Gibson never had to worry about running and getting tired again. Finally, they had reached Shiga, where Kishiro was beating up Teryu's abusive daddy for no reason. Reed saw this and knew he had to butt into someone else's bussiness. I love the angry faces throughout this. Lem peeked out from the curtains of her palanquin, still wearing her bathrobe and tiara, and putting on lipstick she pulled out of her expensive Gucci bag. She saw Weasel being an interfering messiah and rushed over to her love's side. What the hell are you doing to that innocent dog, you motherfucker? Screeched Lem in a voice so irritating that everyone around her's ears burst and the ground begun to flood with ear blood. But they got better, so it's okay. Except for what? Keys of the Shire. Keys of the Shire. How fitting that I'm reading Lord of the Rings at the moment. Because he deserved to be treated like shit. Haha, stupid abuse victim. I bet he's a stinky male lessie too. Ha 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 ha. Why are you doing this? Weemel screamed unanimously, because since they was always together, they basically fused into one being like a garnet. Leave me alone and let me handle this. Shokiro shouted as he yeeted Teryu's abusive dada off a cliff into a pit full of sharp rocks. Weed screeched and cried and sharted his last pamper as the abusive daddy dog became irrelevant. What is wrong with you? The weed malfusion. Oh my god, this is the worst fusion since Bluebird. Moaned again and wet on some pro-life horse con. What if your mother while... Oh no. Borber reference. What if your mother, while pregnant with you, had decided to interrupt her pregnancy, huh? However, the two finally unfused as Malware took one quick glance at Teru and turned the subject away from the war like she always did. Oh my god. I've just read the next bit. You see that baby over there, Weed? Maleficent said. Seeing it made me realise I want a pub of my own. Oh, yeah, if this is Maleficent in this, maybe this is the one from the live action version. Weird, this isn't a place for a female like her, Kishiro protested. Get her out of here. Before Melon could quote Sojourner Truth and go on a long feminazi rant, two Dobermans named Fundy and Lecty barreled into our frame and kidnapped Teru. Melvin started breaking down crying real hard and sucking her thumb like Prince John. Except nobody was funny. And she did this for the entirety of the battle while Reed and Kiroshiro did all the work in but Melman was still working so much harder than any Otter Ohu soldier guys. Cake and how do you come up with his names? Cake and Shiwu was about to finally deliver the bye-bye blow to Thunder and Hannibal Lecter when suddenly Weed pulled out his holy Bible and a halo floated above his head. We shouldn't kill them. Why the fuck not? Kishiro said a naughty no-no word. Because I'm saying so. Weed was now giving the most unusual look out of all of them. Taking lives, even ones like these two, is not what obtaining peace looks like. If we kill them now, we are no better than Hogan himself. Sideshow Mel got moisture in her oyster. As Wed vomited that stupid alphabet soup of self-righteous bullshit. Now that Kyoko Ro was under the enslavement of Reed, the adventure continued. Later, skated at night, Melancholy summoned Wed to her royal chambers. Oh, Weedo, I got a paper cut. Can you lick it for me, Daddy? Of course, my golden floppy-head mammy. Where did you cut yourself? Melvin spreaded her legs out, revealing that the cut was close to her hoo-ha. Her hoo-ha. Author's not. You know, considering we're talking about dogs and you're referring to the author's notes as knots, part of me thinks that was intentional. Animals in real life clean each other's wounds by licking it, so it's not sexual. If you think I'm a pedicure, then you're stupid. If Laddie and the Trump too... I hope it didn't do this. Could do it, then it's okay. Well, I mean, Lady and the Tramp 2 had paedophiles in it from what I heard, so... Yeah. Wedding smirked and leaned out in a totally not sexual whale way. Lick lemonades, wound, yes, that is what I meant. As this probably illegal shit was happening, Jerome was sneaking off from the group where every was gossiping. You heard the rumour, right? About wet and milk? Said Kuraturo. No, what about them? Said Rocket, who was now there because it completely makes sense for Rocket to show up after Kyosho Lace did. Oh, also, he was evil when he joined, but now he's good because I don't need gradual character development in my FEC XD. It's okay. He's good now, because Rocket realised you always win when you are good. Darren Love, said Tenshin, who was also now part of the Ooh army. He originally wanted to take care of the crusty as elder, but decided he was old anyway and should just be left to die lols, and suddenly decided to join Seed pack with no catalyst whatsoever. And all this was definitely relevant to the war while Gin was still in Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hulk Hogan shit. I'm just getting this mental image of Hogan going, let's go and beat him up, brother, while ripping his shirt off. Getting his asshole turned inside out. Jeremy Shadder didn't be... Jeremy Shadder, is that Jerome? Who's Jeremy Shadder? Let me just look it up. Oh, Finn the Human's voice actor. Oh, okay. Anyway, where was I? Jeremy Shadder didn't believe Sander and Lecture should have been sparred, even if Wad was perfect and basically Jesus and wasn't ever Wong. He was Wong slightly right now, because that made sense, right? Because Pep Jerome Yummy was edgy and wanted to protect Weak from doing anything that might taint his pure aura. He went to Goo and find the assassins. Restroom key, Ashiro noticed and tried to follow. No! Said Jeremy calmly, when he used his special assassin powers to detect that Koshir Ho was there. You must stay back and be loyal to Weemale, even if their fusion is half weak female. It's also half weed, so it's half pure, and you can't deny what is at least 1% pure. They are their patience, they are their fury, they are their conversation, and they are made of love, and it's stronger than you. What the fuck are you on about? Kyoshirope asked, confuzzled, but Jerome didn't reply before continuing onward. Even if the key show didn't understand, he would one day. No one could escape Weed's control forever. Not even you. Yes, you, right, reading this right now. I have your IP address and Wed is coming to your house. Ew, we better not be. Mwahahahaha. Smirk. Anyway, Jero Mummy finally found the two Dopamans. Thunderer was furiously jerking it to a pic of Mel Gibson, while Lecterd was sending pics of her titties to Haugen so he wouldn't be as mad when she finally told him how they get their asses beat by two children. Fuck you want, said one of the two Dobby the house elf mans. Can't you see we're trying to scheme our next murder attempt on Weed because we're obviously evil? While you were out fucking around, I studied the blade, Jeremy sided, pulling out his katana and stabbing Thumper to death. How do you like having something long and hard penetrate your body? Long and hard? Alters not. Okay, all you stinky gays who keep saying my writing style sounds like a home of erotic sexual innuendo, stop it, as if I'd ever put yucky gays in my story. Tundra! Lecter turned off her OnlyFans camera and saw her Hermano was fucking deed and fell into the snow, drowning in white stuff. Ew. After Jeremy had stabbed him, Tanner cried as he slowly bled to death, wet stuff coming out of his holes. Alters not. Oh my god, I meant the wet stuff was his tears and his hose or his eye holes. What else could it mean, you sickos? I know that he said this was related to like someone who wrote bad like fan fictions that you've read, but this is giving me more My Immortal flashbacks with only I can't get one, you sickos. Die! Jeremy Cricket pulled a bazooka out of his ass and obkitty-literated leprechaun because she was a disgusting no Y chromosome haver. So she deserved a more brutal death. When he was done, he put on his shads and walked away from a bloodbath while the riffs from Terminator 2 played. Completely ignored Weed's wailing from behind about how he was banished now, while continuing to beat up Kyoshiro for being sick and tired of them putting their nasty under egg canoodling before the war against Hoki. But that's fine, because Jerry didn't want to be in a pack with a stupid girl anyway. Gerard Butler walked until he bumped into someone, knocking his sunglasses off. "Who the fuck are you?" shouted the real Jerome. My name is Jerome. I left because I got tired of weed, thinking it was a good idea to recruit a girl trademark into the Ohu army. That over there is weed. Jerome directed over to the real weed, the superior dub weed, not shitty cannon weed. Yes. And who do you clowns think you are, impersonating the Ohu army like that? Weeto, in the middle of licking melodramatic sweet but no words, privet area, used his Deus Ex Machina powers and heard the real Jerome call him out on his obvious bullshit. No words allowed. Someone question the love of him and his trophy girl, who is currently gushing. You may be asking how Wet got his ability, but he always had it and just remembered he could do it in the best pacing ever, and that is why he deserves the love of his perfect girl. Shut up. What's wrong, Jerome? Weed rushed over to the shepherd's side. Imposters, Jerome replied firmly. I'll take care of them myself. Here you calling Weed? The fake Weed shrieked in a high-pitched voice like Mariah Carey. I'm the only second coming of cheesy rice around here. Cheesy rice. Love it. Weed wordlessly stared at Reed like the unsettled Tom meme. Mervana McGonagall rushed over to her boy toy and saw another Weedo. Lem's pupils turned into hearts and she immediately floated over to the real Weed and stuck to him like a magnet. Gee, Bill, how come the universe lets me fucking two Weeds? Get off him, bitch! Jerome did that anime thing where you attack someone but they didn't realise it yet. No, let me just redo it. Get off him, bitch! Lem laughed, thinking Jerome had mixed, until her back broke in half and all her innards exploded. Jesus fuck, Jerome! Weed raised his paws to his head, his mouth wide open and his pupils shrunken in shock. She was just a puppy! They're impersonating us, Weed. It was no doubt a trap set up by Hogan to confuse the Ohu army. Weed! Jerome! Mel beelined over to the two dogs having been sent by Akame. I heard you guys were in trouble, because this was the Chad dub Weed. He understood and trusted Jerome instead of having a bitch fit and shitting his own organs. Shitting his own organs out like Reed. Fake Weed dropped to his knees and screamed to the sky like an overdramatic, cliched movie scene. How could you kill my Mel? She was my dream girl. Dassy time sending you straight to a hinchy double broken dicks. The real gay trans boy Mel tilted his head in confusion. Is he talking to me? Wart got bransol diarrhea from having to process more than one thing going on at once, and could do nothing but smash his head in the ground and proceed to see this seed into his dead wheat cream suck. Mel, I can't do nothing without you. I shall give you life. Weed and Mel were prepared to fight back, but the sight of Weed desecrating Lem's corpse held them back. Though they were used to seeing bloodshed and death on the battlefield, this was too much for them. The pups averted their gaze and futilely held back vomit as Jerome decided to finish the job. Jerome decapibarated him with one kick. Don't let your guard down, kids, the assassin warned soon as Weed and Mel were comfortable enough to look back up again. There may be more imposters out there. Keep your eyes peeled. As Jerome spoke, he noticed movement in the corner of his eye. He turned to see the puddle of diluted dick sauce as it began moving, as if some large creature were walking and causing it to ripple with each step. However, there was no such creature. The cum was doing it all on its own. Suddenly, hundreds of worm-like beings floated out from it, entering both Lem and Reed's corpses. Jerome's usually calm demeanour fell out as he let out a disgusted cry. Weed and Mel followed his gaze and were horrified to see the unholy fusion of what was once two dead doppelgangers. Piss yellow and eye-bleeding cyan cut through the cum white of the worms, and slowly Limed was revealed. A hideous, 8-legged monstrosity with 4 twitching, unblinking eyes, 2 long tongues dripping with a tar-like substance, and a voice that mingled the high-pitched grating of Lem with the self-righteous condescending tone of Reed. Oh no, or is this turning into that Garfield creepypasta? Weed and Mel crouched down, baring their teeth, ready to attack the eldritch abomination in front of them. It was unlike anything they'd ever seen, but if Kaibutsu was anything to go by, there was no way they couldn't also defeat this monster if they tried. Jerome, on the other hand, had decided he had enough of this nonsense. He pulled out Jasper's. Jazz nutted at this part. Well, not, yeah, she would. Gem destabilizer and took a wild swing of a hideous concoction in front of him. Yellow volts of electricity rocketed through its body, and it let out a blood-curdling scream towards the heavens before it finally dissipated. The physical remnants that used to be Reed and Lem fell into the snow in the form of a single blade of grassweed and a lemon, respectively. Jerome crushed them mercilessly with his paws, and then furiously rubbed 2 sticks together to make a campfire that he threw the shards into. In the background, the imposters, in the form of BG, Tenshin, Jotaro, Kuraturo, not Ken, not Rocket, and not Akame, also started dissolving into thin air Infinity War style. Now that they could no longer gossip about Reed and Lem's underage romance, which was the only thing they ever fucking did. Weed and Mel stared the whole time, hugging each other in confusion. Jerome? Weeds broke the silence, breaking away from Hug. What was that all about? Yeah, and how did you know that was how to defeat them? Mel added. You'd be surprised with what he'd learned guarding the science lab for so long. The guard dogs replied stoically. A real Ohu army gathered around, suddenly laughing at Jerome's quip as if they were the live audio studio audience of a sitcom. Ha 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 ha. A title screen appeared over the scene reading, "That's our Jerome! Diddly diddly dee 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 da 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 da." Finally, the credits began to roll.
And that's all, folks.